The answer to one of the most current questions. How will I understand that hypnosis has started to work and I have started to change? Answer. You will see that there will be tangible changes in your behavior and outlook on life, and they will appear usually after 3 to 5 sessions. After repeating sessions with the same setup 3-5 times in a row, you will begin to notice partial or general improvements. For some, it is enough to repeat the installation 1-2 times to get a great result. Even if it is about you, it is recommended to use the sessions 7 times in a row for a long-lasting result. Otherwise, 12 repetitions may be required. Remember, hypnosis, unlike drugs that work worse with repeated courses, as a result of which you need to increase the dose, hypnosis works in the opposite way. I emphasize and repeat, it works in the opposite way than drugs. The more you use it, the stronger and longer lasting the effect. Do not underestimate the power of repetition. Remember, one session takes only 20-25 minutes, no more. Don't worry if you're still smoking or eating donuts after your first session. Everything will come later. Of course, you have accumulated a problem for years. Its solution is not visible immediately, but after some time. Yes, wealth building takes longer for results to become apparent. Suggestions for establishing make more money work at the subconscious level, at the level of belief in money. When attitudes change, it takes time for life circumstances to change. Be sure that if you listen to the installations in a soothing voice in a calm environment, you entered a state of hypnosis with your eyes open. And remember that even a mild stage of hypnosis can be enough to influence attitudes on your subconscious mind and to initiate tremendous changes in your life. The feeling of a state of hypnosis is an indicator of a rare deep stage of hypnosis and is not always felt in lighter stages. Certainty that you were hypnotized during the session. You may stumble or mispronounce the words you are listening to. If this happens, you have reached some depth of the hypnotic state. You will understand that work with hypnosis is progressing successfully if during the session you notice that you are slurring words, your attention is strained, you are upset by strong emotions, etc. When using hypnosis, you don't need to seek conviction to prove something to yourself. If you meet them, you can reach a state of hypnosis while listening. Manka mistakenly went to a sexologist. A magical hypnosis session. You hear a slow and pleasant voice. Your body is slowing down as if everything moves in slow motion. With every word which you hear, and with each sound that I utter, you feel more and more relaxed and calm. Minute by minute your mind becomes as clear as the surface of a quiet and peaceful mountain lake. While cleaning your mind, you use your imagination to relax more deeply. Imagine that you are approaching a tall, modern and well-known building. You go through the door that turns, and you enter a magnificent lobby. Inside the building stands a strong, armed man, a guard who protects him from uninvited guests. The guard looks at you sternly, but then recognizes you as the owner of the building. The security guard works for you. You nod to him with satisfaction and go straight to the elevator. You see your reflection in the mirror surface of the elevator door. You look at yourself calmly and confidently. You click on the arrow that points down and the elevator doors open. Do you feel safe as you enter the spacious, luxurious elevator car? You return to the panel of buttons indicating the floor numbers. You press the 10 button to drop 10 stories below ground level. The 10 button flashes, and the elevator doors close. The elevator cabin begins to move gently through a long, deep shaft, with a low humming sound. You watch the numbers change on the indicator above the door. Each number flashes at that moment when the elevator passes the specified floor. While the numbers are changing, one by one, do you feel that dive into an amazing place inside yourself, deep below the surface? 1. You look at the numbers while the elevator is moving down. You relax deeper with each digit. 2. Penetrate under the surface of a huge structure, deeper under the surface. 3. By the time you reach the number 10, you will be hypnotized. 4. You will be hypnotized and open for the useful settings. 5. You feel like you are going down smooth, effortlessly. 6. Still watching the numbers change above the door, one by one. 7. Moving deeper and deeper, feeling of peace and deep relaxation. 8. Are you safe? You feel calm, moving lower, deeper down. 9. You allow yourself to easily enter a state of hypnosis. 10. The elevator cabin stops softly. You must have arrived at your destination. When the door opens, leave and go to the office indicated on the registration card. You will enter a comfortably furnished office. Sex pathologist, sexologist. Having entered, you see a small fireplace in front of you. Firewood crackling in the fireplace, and sparks are scattered from them, as if welcoming you. Entering the semi-darkness of the office, Manka did not immediately see the sexologist, sexopathologist. Relaxing music was playing, Indian incense smelled. There seems to be no one in the office. Looking into the dressing room behind the screen, she found the young man on the couch. He was lying naked to the waist. Wide muscular chest slowly rose. Cubes of the press were clearly outlined on the stomach. Intricate tattoo patterns tangled hands like vines. Manka froze, looking at all this beauty. The sexologist decided to rest after another session. But the sexologist suddenly opened his eyes and looked straight at the decoy. Sorry. Lay down to rest. While waiting for the next patient, a charming smile played on his lips. Manka fell in love with the sexologist again. The girl liked the sexologist very much. Do you mind if we go with you? No, of course, I don't mind, answered the girl hastily, looking away. He communicated with Manka as if they knew each other. Although, maybe this is his standard procedure, and she imagined something crazy. You hear a voice that will accompany you. Be calm. If any extraneous thoughts come into your head, turn your attention to my voice. Now I start counting to 10. With each number that I pronounce, you will relax and enter relaxation deeper and deeper. You begin to imagine 1. Sexologist, then undress and lie down. I will come now. The girl was embarrassed by such an offer but undressed. Like before, when she came to the sexologist with her sores, folded her clothes, settled comfortably on the couch, covering her bottom with a narrow towel. I didn't want to think about anything, and even more so about the girls whom the sexologist, sexopathologist so periodically pleases. She closed her eyes, listened to music, deeply inhaling the aroma of incense. Voice speaks. When you concentrate all your attention on my voice, it is very good. Listen to my voice and feel relaxation. Feel your breathing deep and calm. Breathe in your own rhythm as it is convenient and comfortable for you. You will feel your breath. Breathe from the bottom of the belly. Make pleasant a deep breath, and a pleasant deep exhalation. 2. The sexologist patted his shoulders, going down on his hands. Massaged each hand separately, going through even the fingers. It was very pleasant. My wife forgot about the sores. Strokes the back again, kneads a little across the back, pressing and rubbing. Manka could not understand what was happening, but when the towel was removed to the side, and the large palms lay on the buttocks, it became so accepted that all the pains receded. Sooner she was really looking forward to this, but it was so embarrassing to admit to myself. The voice speaks. You listen and concentrate only on my voice. Enter a state of relaxation of soul and body. You feel the relaxation of the whole body and soul. Consciousness and memory seem to leave you, and your subconscious and sleep begin to connect. You feel that you are falling asleep, but you clearly hear my voice. The state of drowsiness is increasingly covering your body. A state of calmness, rest and relaxation more and more embraces you. All sounds float into the distance, become quieter. You enter a trance deeper and deeper. You already understand that you are sleeping. Your body has become heavy, lazy, sleepy, and will remain so until the end of the session. Only the subconscious will work in this state, sleep, and from this moment you will enter a deep state of hypnosis, a state of deep peace and relaxation. Pay attention that you feel very well, breathe easily and freely. 3. And the sexologist was again covered by a wave of desire. He saw uncovered panties through which the girl's crotch was visible. His fingers were once again reaching for the innermost part. He tried to restrain himself not to touch the source of his sin. Was going down his legs, but even those little toes on her feet turned him on. Roll over, the husky voice of a sexologist. That he didn't even recognize himself. The voice says, notice that the hands have become so heavy that you can't even lift them. Your body is pleasantly heavy, your eyes are closed, your lids are downcast. Even if you want to make a movement, your body will not listen to you. And you want to stay like this as long as possible. Go deeper and deeper into the state of hypnosis. Now you feel comfortable and relaxed. 4. Manka turns over, breasts sway, nipples are already tense. The legs are spread a little wider than usual, opening a view of the genitals, which are visible through the panties. They are already a little swollen. Again, gliding over the body, which excites the breasts, is no longer a treatment, but more like a caress. But Manka is in deep shock, probably in a trance. The voice speaks. You like to make love and feel calm and confident. The desire for sex is natural for every person. This is a natural desire, just like the feeling of hunger. Sexual desire is like hunger. You don't have to taste it to want or do it. Sex is natural. Sexual desire is natural. You know that if you don't eat for several hours, you get hungrier, until your wish is satisfied. The same with your sexual desire. It naturally becomes stronger and stronger, more persistent. Your sexual desire is like hunger, and sexual hunger must be quenched. Even now, if you pay attention to your body, you may feel the desire which reminds you that it exists, and that sexual desire is healthy and normal. So you allow yourself to feel that it is normal, useful. 5. The member of the sexologist pulsates in his pants, oozes with lubricant. He could not restrain himself, he was distracted by everything he could. But it won't last that long. So you want to release the poured barrel and ram into a wet girl. The sexologist bends the girl's legs at the knees, placing them as wide as possible on the couch. He caresses his hips, and intentionally touching his lower lips with his fingers. These movements are so easy and magically gliding. Manka is completely wet. Wet glistens on the crotch, and something is happening here unexpected. The girl seems to be running through electricity. She feels that it is no longer fingers stroking her down there, and the hot tongue of a sexologist. The voice speaks. You experience pleasure from sex at all levels of your being. When you free yourself from the chains of suppression, your mind, your emotions and your body will enjoy the pleasure of sex. You let go of any subconscious fears of impotence or frigidity, and choose the pleasure of sexual activity instead. Because you have the right to pleasure, you too reject any ideas that enjoying sex is wrong, sinful or dirty. You are already an adult and you decide what is good for you and what is not bad. You are replacing these old notions about sex for new ideas that lift the mood. 6. He gently kisses, runs his lips with his tongue, without touching the sensitive clitoris, pushes them aside, blows cool air, and goes back to kissing again. There are more secretions. Manka is excited to the limit. Here a persistent tongue begins to lick the clitoris. It pulsates like a bare nerve, goes down, penetrates inside, as if fucking. The voice speaks. You know that consensual adult sex is natural and normal. Sex is fun. You want it to be nice, to last as long as you want. You feel free when you have sex, feel relaxed and confident. You allow yourself to plunge into pleasure, realizing that sex is normal and natural. You like to make love, and this is your opinion. You take your time when you have sex. You can continue to have sex and enjoy your feelings. Sex is not a game, it is a life of body and mind. Your body wakes up when the mind becomes excited. You are happy when you have sex and get sexual pleasure. You get pleasure from giving pleasure. You also allow yourself to enjoy a sexual partner, because it is you nice. Therefore, during intimacy, you give and receive pleasure. 7. The sexologist loses his head from the taste and aroma of this girl. I want more, lick every fold. To fuck with your tongue until you get tired. Cock is about to explode. The eggs poured and rose so high that it hurt. Manka writhed on the couch, no longer ashamed of her moans and sobs. And so the sexologist began to suck the sponges, and then the clitoris, greedily sucking it into her mouth, guiding it inside with the tongue. And the girl was covered in orgasm, so powerful and strong. Wave after wave, the sexologist did not let go of her clitoris, only forcefully squeezed her hips, so that she does not break out, continuing the orgasm. Voice speaks. When you have sex, you feel free. Because at this time enjoy love. Think about something else during sexual intimacy. Impossible. You give yourself completely to sexual pleasure. You don't think about the past and you don't think about the present. You will be completely immersed in the pleasure of sex. Sex and making love is like an adventure movie. Sex begins with an excited foreplay. The excitement is getting stronger and stronger. You are fascinated by foreplay, which increases the excitement even more. You take your time so you can enjoy the adventure of enjoyment that unfolds. As sexual arousal develops, feelings become stronger and stronger. You become more and more passionate. You allow your sexual arousal to slowly reach its peak. This is the highest pleasure. From now on, you are relaxed during sex. You let everything take its course without forgetting about your partner to satisfy him. 8. Breathing heavily, Manka left her orgasm, and the sexologist's balls were buzzing. The girl opened her eyes, looked at him with a hazy gaze. It was difficult for the man. He stood and moaned with pleasure. Manka understood that she was having sex with a sexologist. A large genital organ protruded from her pants. Without even thinking about what she was doing, she easily slipped off the couch, knelt down, pulled back the elastic of his pants and released his cock. He was big, trembled, red head glistened with grease. Voice speaks, and when you take off your clothes and your partner, this action will be like post-hypnotic setting. Together with your clothes you remove your complexes. You feel sexuality filling your mind and awakening your body. You get more and more pleasure from sex. Sex is fun. Sex is the natural state of a person. You want sex. You like to have sex. Sexual feelings have clouded your mind and subconscious. Or maybe, to help yourself during sex, you just need to rely on what you know and trust yourself. You are very determined and confident during sex. You have a strong desire and motivation to enhance your sexual experience. Now you get rid of negative thoughts about sex, or your ability to satisfy your partner. Now you will discover in yourself the ability to make your partner more sexually excited. To do more and better. You will use sex for the benefit of yourself and your partner. Sex is good and necessary. People can use sex in good or bad ways. You trust yourself. Good and right. 9. Manka, just don't touch me, I'll finish now, moaned the sexologist, not a request, but a plea. And Manka, taking a thick trunk with bulging veins, ran her fingers over the oozing head, opening her mouth. Accepted him as deeply as possible. The sexologist was completely confused by this tiny picture. His cock goes in and out of that sweet mouth, reaching the larynx. The girl's chest sways. Nipples stick out. How sweet. Manka, I can't take it anymore, I'll finish now. Just a few movements were enough. Manka relaxed her throat as much as possible, accepting streams of seed inside. The sexologist finished with a pulsating flow. As soon as it poured out completely, Manka let go. But the sperm spilled out, flowed down the chin and onto the beautiful breasts of the decoy. The sexologist has never had such an orgasm. In the dark eyes, the pulse goes off the scale. Just don't say anything, please. Voice speaks. By having more sex, you allow yourself to be happy, and make yourself and your partner happy. Wanting more sex to satisfy your needs and your partner's. All this is natural and good. You can have what you want during sex. You deserve to have everything you can imagine during sex. And you can have it without losing anything else. In fact, the more sex you have, the more you can and want. When you spend your energy on sex, you give sex to someone else. And this someone will have more desire for sex. So when you have more sex and get what you want from your partner, you help your partner get what he wants during sex. And this is good. You help yourself and your partner. You want to give yourself and your partner even more pleasure. 10. But it was her desire. Just the need to satisfy the sexologist. And find out what it is and what it tastes like. To make him pleasant. As he knows how, as he can. In general, Manka was indifferent to the blowjob. She thought it was more out of necessity or prelude, until further continuation of sex. But she swallowed the member of the sexologist as if possessed. And his moan excited her, and the words so that she would not touch. Because he will finish now, all this excited and pushed for events. He was so smooth. Very hard. Moist. Wanted to lick and suck a big head. Manka got excited when he caressed her breasts and squeezed her nipples when she caressed his cock. It was so easy and pleasant for her to feel the caress with her tongue. And now a moan escapes from the mother's chest, her fingers slide along the swollen folds, smooth the clitoris in circular motions, bringing the decoy to such a quick orgasm again. Oh, how nice and sweet. A sweet convulsion of ecstasy swept through the body of the decoy. The voice speaks, time flies fast, everything good has a beginning and an end, it's time to end the last foreplay. Sex led to the highest point of excitement. And you imagine how the wine brings a table, with wonderful drinks and delicious food into the room. There is a large golden bowl on the table. You pick up a golden cup, and see your and your partner's royal reflection in the polished gold. Now you and your partner are drinking from the cup of wealth. And that goodness tastes great. You and your partner feel so good, so happy, because you have found your treasury of pleasure. All its contents are intended to serve you. You live in a rich sexual universe. You allow yourself to have that pleasure. You accept sexual excitement with joy and gratitude. You are open to earning more pleasant for your partner. You feel a strong desire to get what you want. You will get what you want, as much as you want, in a decent way. Now you direct your thoughts and tune into to get pleasure. You let your creative mind guide you. Generate a greater sexual experience. You are determined to succeed in sex. You can trust yourself with your experience. You have had to rely on yourself many times before. Nothing, with the help of your various sensations, it will become even more pleasant for you, more comfortable and calmer. Maybe you will remember the hints, and maybe. But the main thing is your feelings. Something may come to mind, to then slowly settle in the brain. Of course, it is already firmly established there. Consciousness of what you should start deeply. Breathe deeply, and you will again be able to experience the same blissful state in which you are at this moment. You set aside this time just for yourself. And as you train, you will be able to make sure that if the need arises you every time, it will be much easier, or maybe only easier, to enter a state of trance as the present natural state. You may discover the ability to enter an even deeper trance at times, in a moment. Not yet, but as soon as you are ready, I will count from 0 to 5. For each digit, you will go up a step. Don't rush, you have a lot of time to spare. Because time is relative, after all. With each number, with each step, you gradually and willingly wake up. And if, on the contrary, you want to fall asleep deeply and peacefully, you can count in reverse order from 5 to 0, going down the same steps into your world of imagination and freedom. To wake up. To wake up. You climb the stairs. One digit is one step. On the count of 3 your eyes are almost ready to open. At 4 they can already open. On the count of 5 you can wake up full of vigor and fresh strength. Maybe it will seem to you that you took a sweet nap and woke up refreshed and refreshed. You feel cheerful and uplifted. You may be pleasantly surprised that you feel so good. And now you can take your time to wake up. 0, 1, 2. Awakening is getting closer. 3. Eyes open. 4, 5. Do not sleep. Woke up. Feel great. Voice. Manka asks. So it was. What happened to me? What you didn't understand? What the sexologist had at the magic session? Why I need a sexologist. I have a tripper and I need a sexologist. You have passed one floor. Office numbers are the same. What happened. It was very pleasant and sweet to Manka. She forgot about the tripper. She will have to come to the sexologist again.